Hello everyone, and welcome back to Occult Perspectives. Glad to have you here. I just wanted to make a really simple and short video about a general topic real quick while I had a chance here. If you are new to the channel, what I do on here is I talk about different esoteric research subjects, Kabbalah, Freemasonry, the Golden Dawn, ceremonial magic, archangels, you name it. We talk about it on here. Many different subjects. So for this short little video, I wanted to talk about one of the ultimate keys to understanding the occult in general. And for those of you who don't know, the word occult simply means hidden or concealed. It's amazing, and I mostly learned this information from checking out Universal Mastery's YouTube channel, because he talks about this all the time. And this is basically like a prerequisite to meditation. Well, it's a part of meditation. But it's definitely a prerequisite to doing like any kind of energy work or, magic or ritual work, is learning how to relax the body, and more particularly the nervous system. It's crucial and it's key. So for me, before I do any actual practices, I will spend a lot of time, really trying to relax the body and allowing it to get into what I would call like a super regulated state, I guess you could say. And the more you stay on top of your meditations, the more you stay on top of being conscious and aware of your breath, and learning to kind of not keep your shoulders up so uptight all the time, you kind of like learn to loosen that. Over time, what will happen is it won't be a state of being that you're striving for necessarily. It will be a state of being which just comes more natural to you. So that's kind of where you want to ultimately get, is you want to learn how to relax the nervous system and how to keep the body calm throughout even the struggles, through the hard things. And we all have hiccups and things that bring us back to, for me, I was doing good for a couple days there, and then I had a rough time this morning. There were many things on my mind, I guess I could say, they were getting to me. I wasn't able to have that it's funny because in a way you kind of have to control it by saying, maybe I reject this thought, or, this isn't, I'm just perceiving it this way, but it may not really be what it is. So there's this aspect of trying to control the mind in a way, or control your thoughts, but then you also have to learn how to let go. You have to learn how to be receptive. It's more of that feminine energy, being open to the flow of things and not holding on so tight or trying to control. So it's actually kind of a mixture of those two things. But for me, what I was getting at is, anyway, we all have times where we kind of, for lack of a better term, I guess, lose control. It's maybe not really the best way of putting it, but letting your emotions get the best of you, whatever it is. And then you get out of that state, that relaxed state that you were in, and then it's like every little thing starts to trigger you from that point on, because it's almost like a domino effect that'll happen for me. And then I just get so upset because I let myself get worked up over that thing when I was doing so good, keeping that regulated state. So there's going to be things that come along and they're going to kind of knock you off track a little bit. But I think the most important thing is consistency, and really trying to learn how to stay in that relaxed state with the relaxed nervous system. And a lot of these things, probably even what I experienced today, a lot of them are linked back, as Jeremiah says, to early traumas, or things that happened in the past, and there's still a fragmented part of you. There's still an missing piece. Well, I wouldn't say missing piece, but yeah, I guess fragmentation's a better way of putting it. A fragmented part which you've shelled off or separated out of fear of being hurt in that same way again. And it kind of creates this thing where you'll have this whiplash effect. All of a sudden, things can just trigger you so easily. So it's so important to actually go into those wounds. And that's the kind of work that a lot of people are not willing to do, especially partners have to do this together. If they want to have the deepest, the most depth that they can possibly have in a relationship, you have to be willing to go into those depths of self with each other and into all the wounds and accept and heal them. It's not just something that you distract yourself with other things or just run off and just forget about it. I mean, you can do that, but ultimately, if the trauma is not completely processed or completely accepted and worked through, it always seems to have a way of coming back. I think a lot of people in this culture today, especially because it's so fast-paced and everything, they don't really realize what it's even like to be in a relaxed state, in a totally relaxed nervous system type state. Because I feel like I didn't even realize it until I started doing meditations and things of that nature. And I realized for the first time, I'm like, I didn't know my body could get this relaxed. Especially just through natural means, through your own biology can do it. You can just sit there and it's like the DNA is repairing itself, as you're in that state. So that's definitely the kind of state that you want to be in when you're trying to perform any kind of, practice or anything like that, because if you have emotions which are out of balance or out of whack, it's gonna mess with the the operation that you're doing. Now that there's gonna be certain obviously things that you may need like a surge of the correct emotion in a particular instance of the ritual, as maybe you're sending the energy out. But that's where the masterfulness comes in, is where you can flip that on and off like a switch. You can direct that energy in like a precise, calculated laser beam type way when the time is appropriate. But you're not having that laser beam focus go everywhere and getting upset or angry about anything. It's not like your emotions are not being pulled by anything. Like, you're centered and you're grounded in where and who you are. And so your practices are always going to be more effective coming from that perspective and that lens of things. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it up. Covers up the topic. I mean, I could go on about this, but I think that pretty much sums it up. And obviously, it's been discussed in much more detail in other videos that other people have done. But I just wanted to make that short little video as a reminder to how important calming the body and calming the nervous system and all of those things are. And being able to keep a constant regulation of that, those are all kind of like prerequisites to doing more intense work. So, alrighty, I will end the video there. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button, and ring the bell if you want to be notified of new videos. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and until next time.